Chaos and commotion erupted at a York Catholic District School Board meeting last night over a debate about the Pride flag. In the meeting, the school board discussed whether or not to raise the Pride flag in June to honor Pride Month, but things quickly became heated as parents expressed their outrage regarding the LGBTQ+ issues being discussed, and police had to be called in. Disruptions at a York Catholic District School Board meeting over whether or not to raise the Pride flag in June.
We know what you're doing to the children.
That's what they should right?
In the rainbow room.
Your granddaughters should have gone to school with change rooms and boys in there too.
Security removing audience members following the first speaker, but arguments against the Pride flag continued in the hall.
Shame! 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 Shame!
York Regional Police were eventually called to the board's Aurora headquarters to break up the disturbance. No arrests were made and no charges were laid. It's the second time police have been called to a York Catholic board meeting over LGBTQ issues. Back in March, police were called to disperse angry parents at a meeting involving setting up safe spaces for LGBTQ students. Despite the disruptions, there were parents and students at the meeting in support of raising the flag.
And I just want to tell every queer student listening that you do belong. We should not be afraid to go to school. We should not have to enjoy listening to hateful rhetoric in a place that is supposed to support us and protect us. Queer students deserve to be uplifted and treated just the same as those outside of the 2S LGBTQ+ community. We're not asking for special treatment. We're simply asking to feel safe and to be treated the same as our peers.
Following the meeting, the president of PFLAG Canada York Region released a public letter to the board, saying unless changes are made, PFLAG will begin a process of designating the board an unsafe space for the LGBTQ2IA+ community of York Region on June 1st.
You are a radical teacher!
In a statement to Trending Now, the York Catholic District School Board says it is involved in ongoing conversations with a number of stakeholders about whether or not to fly the Progress Pride flag at their central office in June. There was no motion on the table last night for voting, and there has not yet been a decision on flying the Pride flag at the board. Adding that the school board believes that the 2S LGBTQ+ students are loved by God and are valued members of our school communities. Joining us now is teacher and parent Paolo De Buono, who is one of the people advocating for the Pride flag to be raised at last night's York Catholic board meeting. Paolo, what happened in the lobby during the board meeting yesterday, and why were people turning on you?
There were sounds, words that were so awful, uninclusive, that we could hear in the boardroom, even though the doors were closed. They were so harsh. Students were crying, and you couldn't help but hear those words. And so I, at one point, got up to go see what was going on. Maybe I can do my part in stopping it. Maybe I could, I don't know, maybe when I got there, I started filming them. Like, this is embarrassing. I can't believe parents and community members would be saying things like that. And then they turned on me. Which to a certain degree, I didn't mind, because I'd rather they focus on me than say harsh things about students. And then it just got even more out of control. At one point, one of the superintendents in York Catholic encouraged me to leave and pull me back into the boardroom.
Why is it so important to you to have schools fly the Pride flag and post Pride stickers?
What we saw displayed by those parents and community members is a reflection of what students experience in schools. They don't feel safe. I saw students crying yesterday in reaction to what they heard in the lobby. And some were expressing out loud, pleading with trustees during a board meeting. The positive heckling was from a student saying, my class is not safe. I don't feel safe for 12 years as a student here. So the stickers and the pride flag won't solve the issues that a school board like York Catholic has, but it still goes a long way. It's such a simple, easy way to say, we're trying, we accept you, and we're trying to make our schools safer than they were in the past. Students deserve that. And I'm a teacher, and the number one issue is learning. Students cannot learn if they don't feel safe.
So what happens next? Will raising the pride flag even be considered now?
Well, imagine the next board meeting if a trustee themselves were to raise this as a board agenda item. It's not possible. I mean, it should happen at York Catholic, and I'm suggesting that the best way for York Catholic to do so is just give the green light to its director and senior management to go ahead, fly the pride flag at the head office and at schools. We don't need to change a policy. You don't need a formal permission to do what's right. The idea that it had to ever go to a board meeting is odd in and of itself, because again, it's the right thing, and it's just a flag in terms of procedure. So that's where York Catholic should go next. Just avoid the board meeting, but do it for this June. There's no reason other than obstinance for a Catholic school board like York Catholic to at this point refuse to fly a pride flag by this June.
Thanks so much for joining us, Paulo.
Thanks, Kelly.